I mentioned before about storage and weight. You have to get creative about where you're going to put things and how many things you can, cram into a certain space. But you have to be organized about it, and you have to consider the weight of what your storage container is. So I had a problem. I had a scenario that I needed to solve. I am a planner girl. I like writing down stuff on a paper planner, and I like decorating my planner. If anybody out there is a happy planner or does Erin Condren planners or anything like that, that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's a calendar, and they decorate them. And I am not particularly artistic. I can't draw. I can just barely color in the lines. But I like to decorate my planner with stickers and markers and highlighters and all kinds of stuff like that. I didn't want to leave all that stuff behind. But I didn't know how I was going to contain all of it. And I tried a couple of things and they seemed really bulky. And then I came up with this solution. All of my art supplies for my planner, markers, highlighters, pens, pencils, and I have another one, and these are drink holders. I got a 6-pack of, I don't even remember what. I don't know, beer, I think. I don't know, might have been wine coolers. Do they even make wine coolers? Either way, I had these, and they're super lightweight, and they were, kind of ugly. So, I just took washi tape. Do you know washi tape? Washi tape. It's like patterned masking tape. And I just decorated the outside, and then I took packing tape and I covered all over that so it sort of laminated it. Boom. Lightweight, got a handle, easy to hold, holds everything. So, you gotta get creative. You gotta think about what can you reuse and recycle that you already have. These were headed for the trash. And I just put some washi tape on them, and boom. Instant storage. So I had a couple of storage challenges in the kitchen. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of them right now. One was this bottom cabinet. There's some stuff behind here that I don't know what it is. There's an awkward angled board back in there. And so a limited amount of floor space. And it just felt like space that was being wasted. So again, I came up with a great idea, and Mike engineered it. If I could just get a shelf in here, then I could put some smaller stuff on the shelf, and we could put some bigger stuff down on the bottom, and I could actually use this cabinet better. I could put more things in there. So, he built me this shelf, which is really pretty awesome, and it's removable because I don't know what's behind that angled board in the back, but I'm guessing it's something that might need to be accessible. So it is still accessible. It is not, we did not render it permanently inaccessible because that might be dangerous since we don't know what it is. But more storage space. Another trouble spot in our kitchen, in the kitchen storage, was the pantries, the pantry shelves. They're deep and they're tall, which is great for some things and not so great for other things, like canned goods or spices or, some of the smaller stuff, like big bags of chips. Yes, you need the space. A can of green beans, I don't need that much space. And I can't stack them and move them every time. And I'm not kidding you. They're full arm deep. How long is my arm? 3 feet? 2.5? I don't know. But my whole arm, I'm just barely touching the back. I don't want to stack up cans 3 cans high and have to move them every time. So I had these great baskets, which is awesome, but then it left a whole bunch of extra space that I couldn't utilize. Once again, my engineer husband, and she's not really an engineer, but he should be, made me a shelf that's temporary. I can take it out. So now I have sort of my own little DIY drawers in here, which is awesome because now I have way more storage space than I had before. It's just about being smart about what you have. So another opportunity, let's say, for storage was the inside of these cabinets. Here's where everything, dishes. That's where all dishes are. But there's a lot of space between the inside of the door and the dishes. And this is coffee pod storage, as you can see. So, coffee pods. These are all coffee pods. These are my flavors, and these are Mike's flavors. The other thing that this accomplishes is I was having to brace a bunch of this stuff to keep it from sliding while we would move. Now, these baskets, and they're just little baskets with command hooks on them, as you can see. You just take them off. Very simple, very easy. I say as I put it back on. Yes. But these baskets now take up the space of the bigger stuff in here, so it's not sliding around. Again, creative storage. I use the same technique in this cabinet for, anybody want to guess? Spices. Yes. So you want to keep that stuff handy, close to where you're cooking. But I didn't want to, because of the moving, I didn't want to necessarily put it, some people put them on the wall next to their stove or back here. Those are all fine options, but I had other things I wanted to do with this space, specifically this, and keeping them in the cabinet keeps them a little less susceptible to some of the moisture and steam issues that you have, and so they don't get clumpy. So all of our spices are up here. We do have a couple of bigger containers that don't fit up here, and so they're in the pantry, but they're also not used very often. Kind of cool. Lastly, in this cabinet posed quite a bit of challenges for me. Lastly, in this cabinet, the storage on this shelf. What I learned very quickly, by accident, was this shelf has no lip. So you can't put anything up here and expect it to stay up here while you're moving because there's no lip. It's just going to slide as soon as you're moving. So I use the same technique that I used here. I have baskets with command hooks in the back, and they just, when they're empty, the baskets will just simply lift off the command hooks, but this is where cups and things go for us so that they don't fall off and break. We tragically lost a few soldiers in a road battle, I guess. They were sacrifices to the cause, but now we're smarter and better organized. And if we collect too many cups and they don't fit in the baskets, that's how we know you can't buy any more cup souvenirs. No more coffee mugs, no more wine glasses, no more shot glasses. Doesn't fit in the basket, you can't keep it. So when we first got Gypsy, we took a couple of trips in it, kind of tried it out, lived in it short bursts, and as we were thinking about going full-time and living in it permanently, we decided there were a couple upgrades that we wanted to make right away, and there are probably some more upgrades that we have in mind we just haven't gotten to yet. So here's what we've done so far. Mike installed this light for me. Often I have to do video calls for my work, and the background, while lovely, while I'm sitting at my desk, the background is sometimes distracting. So I will often pull the curtain closed so that it's just a plain background behind me, but that means that this corner gets a little bit dark and my face looks a little dark. So we put that light up there, and it's movable so it can, yes. So we can point it wherever we need it, which is typically on my face. Again, with lighting, the fixture over the dining room table wasn't all that great. It was a little outdated. This is a 2007, so, 14, 13 years ago. They used different fixtures, and it was okay, but it wasn't great. So we upgraded to this lamp. Super easy, and I love the pattern on it. And then easy to turn on and off. A really nice light, and it's a little more gentle and warm than the other one that actually just shined down right on there. It was a little bit harsh. Mike put LED strip lighting under the edge of the cabinet. This is one that we commonly leave on if we're going to be gone in the evening. So there's some light on in here, but it's not super bright or whatever. It's nice at night, kind of a soft glow. And for this to be directionally right in your face, you'd be in a really awkward position. So nice soft lighting right there. We also redid the floors. There was linoleum, and we put down vinyl flooring, waterproof, so that we don't have to worry about spilling water or whatever. It's right here in the kitchen. It's also a lot more flexible and durable for RV travel, the movement. You got to remember, when you're traveling, it's like your house is under an earthquake every time. There's lots of rattling and moving and twisting and bumps and potholes and speed bumps and, curbs. Oh my. So the vinyl is a lot more flexible. It's waterproof and went great with the carpet. So that was definitely an upgrade. We wanted to keep track of where we had been and where we hadn't been and where we had yet to explore. So we got one of those nifty USA sticker sets from somewhere online. I don't know, Amazon. I don't know. And it's here on the back of my desk, and every time we spend a night in a state, we put the sticker on. So this is where we've been so far. We actually started in Indiana, but then we didn't actually stop until Mississippi, and then we went this way. And now we're here, and now we're gonna go back. So kind of fun to keep track of. You've probably seen pictures in some of our videos of putting the stickers on. There it is. Also, as a part of my desk, when the chair was here, I had this bin behind the chair for wet shoes, umbrellas, whatever. And when we built the desk, I told Mike, we still need a place to store wet shoes. So when we come in, it's open right here from my desk. I only had to give up 1 cube. And you can put your wet stuff right in there. Rain boots, umbrellas, whatever, and you're not tracking it in. Super efficient. There's a lot of keys you got to keep track of. We have multiple sets of keys to Gypsy. We have multiple sets of keys to the Jeep. We still have house keys. We have a house, so we still have house keys. Where do all the keys go? Ta-da! Right here inside the door. Key, command, center. So, again, another space that was not being used, and now we can keep keys straight, and they're super accessible right inside the door. You just grab and go. Awesome.
Alright guys, so Ange showed you around inside. She decided to leave the outside part to me. So this is Gypsy. She is a 2007 Forest River Georgetown 350 DS, as you already saw, with a bunkhouse option. The DS dual slides, so we do have one full-length slide, 3/4 slide on the other side, and standard size slide on this side. Gypsy is not a diesel pusher, she is a gasser. We do have the Triton V10 on the Ford chassis. Not a problem. So far we have had no problems pulling through the mountains. We do have a tow vehicle. I'll show you that in a minute. So diesel would be nice, but so far for the trips we've taken, I'm not sure that I could justify the cost. That's a hot debate topic, so don't really want to get into that, but to each his own. As you can see behind me, the 350DS has ample amounts of storage outside. None of them are what I would call pass-through. There are some that technically go all the way through, but that area that passes through, maybe some pool noodles. But they are very large. They go way back up and in there. I've packed and packed and packed and have extra stuff in storage, and I still have a lot of room out here. As you can see, we are running the Generac Guardian RV. It's a 6500, so way more power than we could ever use. Absolutely no problem running both ACs, the microwave, televisions, all of that at the same time. No worries whatsoever. We're using a Blue Ox tow bar setup. This was not something that we chose. It's not that we liked the Blue Ox over any of the other brands. This was actually already installed on Gypsy when we got her, and was included. So yeah, freebie. We like those. I did install, if you can see, a high-low tow hitch attachment, which allowed me then to still keep the tow bar but add on a 2-bike bicycle rack. Upgrades and just things added to the outside. I do have a full blue LED undercarriage light, and again, hot button topic amongst the RV community about the outdoor lights. Some people freak out when you have stuff like that. I can tell you, we only occasionally turn these on just to turn them on. We don't leave them on for very long. They don't run all night, although I think I have at least one time accidentally forgot and left them on all night, so sorry to anybody. But what these are good for, I refer to them as docking lights. If you pull in somewhere and it's dark and you're trying to back into a spot, sometimes it can be really tough to see where, you know, all of your hookups are and where the edge of your spot is. These little lights that come factory, the little running lights, marker lights, yeah, they aren't getting it done. Some RV places make sure that your spot's lit and everything, but I'd say most don't. So as you're pulling in and you're backing into your spot, you flip those on, it puts out a nice glow all the way around the underside, so you can very easily see where your sewer hookups are, where your water hookup is and everything, so you can be lined up properly. But the nice thing is it's not just a crazy amount of light, so that if you are pulling in late, it's not going to be rude to all the people around you. So that's come in kind of handy. I did add some extra driving lights, some LED driving lights. Headlights on these aren't always the best. Now these haven't come in overly handy because we haven't done a lot of nighttime driving. We tried to somewhat avoid that just for timing purposes. It just doesn't work out. That's when we drive. But the few times we have, these have definitely come in handy. Probably the most important addition that I've put on the rig. Got to represent, yo. Hoosier Nation. As anybody that camps, RVs, whether it's part-time, full-time, weekends, whatever, if you're out during the summertime when it gets really hot, you know that it's always a struggle to keep your RV cool. So probably one of the best things we put on to Gypsy, and this is a very fortunate thing also, because this was something that the person we bought it from included with this. As you'll see behind me on the windows, they kind of look like they're blacked out. That's actually a material that is UV blocking, that you basically, it comes in a gigantic roll, so you can just cut it to whatever shape and size you need for your windows. The mounting process is super simple. You use those like super duper 3M adhesive little things, and they go around the window, and you just pop them off, pop them on. They make a massive amount of difference. Because the heat never even gets to the window, you don't even have to worry about the radiant heat that comes off the window like you do with the foil type stuff that you put on. This has been a huge game changer. Even though we were technically not in the dead heat of summer when we were in Arizona, there was a couple days when it was mid 80s, and I mean it was hot. And we noticed when we put these on about a 13 to 15 degree temperature drop, which I know may not sound like a lot, but when you're in an RV and you're trying to stay cool and you're trying not to overwork your ACs, that's huge. So definitely recommend looking into this. I will try to find the information for it and include that in the links below. So this is our tow vehicle. It's a Jeep Liberty. There are lots of vehicles out there that can still be flat towed, while with each passing year and the changes in technology in cars, the list grows shorter. Pretty sure you're always going to find Jeep on that list. The tow bar setup on this, as you can see, is very inconspicuous, no problems. Super simple to install. We installed this ourselves. Took about an hour and a half. It's actually way more work just to take all of the front cowling off, all of the fiberglass housing, than it is to actually mount the thing. So I'll try to also include a link for that. Now they are vehicle specific, so if you're not wanting to put one on a Jeep Liberty, probably isn't really going to help you too much. We use a RVI 2 braking system. This also was included with Gypsy when we bought her, so didn't have to buy that either, which is kind of nice. But downside was I had absolutely no knowledge of this braking system. So far, it has been fabulous. It has worked flawlessly, and you know, can't beat the price. The RVI 2 is a inertia initiated braking system. Basically what that means is when you hit the brakes on the RV, the sudden change in inertia is what initiates this unit and causes it to then trigger the brake on the vehicle. Again, so far I've had no reason to believe that it's not working well. The nice side to that is the only hookups you have to do is just 12 volt power right into the cigarette lighter plug. So it's a bonus. Now there's some debate in the RV world about, do I need a braking system? Do I have to have a braking system? Well, I guess theoretically you don't, but it seems like it'd be pretty dumb to not have that for several reasons. Mostly safety things. But the other part of that is, depends on what state you're in. There are lots of states that require it. So if you want to avoid the possibility of getting a really ugly ticket and kind of putting a damper on your trip, yeah, I would say you probably just want to invest in one. So one of the reasons why we like this Jeep as a tow vehicle is the simplicity of making it towable. Basically, once you're hooked up to the rig via the Blue Ox tow bar, the process really boils down to nothing more than setting the parking brake, shifting into neutral. There's one button here that you push that completely disengages the transmission. Put the vehicle back in park, put the parking brake, take it back off, and you're rolling down the road. It's just that simple. Fabulous. I've seen lots of vehicles where multiple fuses have to be removed, and or battery cables have to be disconnected, and extra fuel pumps, or not fuel pumps, but transmission fluid pumps have to be added to the vehicle. Yeah, no thanks. Again, drama. I have no need. So that's Gypsy in all her glory. If you have any questions, anything you want to comment on, anything I didn't cover that you want to know about, please make sure you shoot us a comment down below. Ask your question. Positive, negative, whatever. Just let us know. We'll try to answer it as quick as we can. So, peace out. Keep on flying.
So, there you have it. That's Gypsy, our home on wheels. We hope you enjoyed the tour and getting to see how we've made it work for us. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please put those down below. We'll include some links below for several of the products or items we showed you. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. If you like this video, please also give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that little bell so you get notified whenever we post a new video. Take care for now. Hope to check in with you again soon. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Keep on flying. Sorry, I have an itch. I'm gonna yawn. Hold on. Okay. Yawning again. I'm not breathing properly while I'm talking. Okay, I'm gonna start that over because of all that movement around.
Go.